Hello my friends, I am G Hondo and welcome back to our Let's Play of OpenTTD Season 2. This is episode 37. In episode 36, I spent a little bit of time, we went over some interesting things, especially considering the order that new vehicles are going to arrive in. You can check the description of episode 36 to see what I was talking about. What else did we do? We also updated our coal to add the second feeder line to supplement this original one, just in case, just because this mission does want an absolute ton of coal, and I wasn't sure this one would suffice. But anyway, let's get rolling. I buzzed through the episode 36 as well, off camera, obviously. As far as I can tell, the audio problem that had happened in episodes 30, when did that start? 32 or 33? And it plagued me a couple episodes. I'm not still entirely sure what caused them, but I seem to have fixed them somehow. But like I say, since I don't 100% know why they occurred in the first place, I can't really guarantee they won't reoccur at some point, but if they do, please let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, at this point, we are moving on. Okay, great, thank you for that. We're just waiting on this mission here to go ahead and expire so we can get something new in. We do have some other missions, mostly sawmill missions apparently, that we're not going to be doing. I've decided I'm not really going to do anything other than mail passengers or valuables until we do get better vehicles. So, and even if that just means better road vehicles, that even might be good enough, but I really would like either boats or, well, even planes or trains at this point, anything. A better vehicle class for long distance transport. The road vehicles are fantastic for short runs, but they're not really ideal for long runs. Not until really late in the game when you start getting vehicles that can go really fast, but by then you've got obviously trains and airplanes that go even faster. So anyway, it's a bit of a trade-off, I guess. Okay, so that mission has expired. So now we're just waiting on Busy Bee to give us a new one. And it is a mail mission that we can try to do. It is a city in the middle of nowhere, though, so I don't know. See, this would be a perfect one. We could just build a little boat to haul mail back and forth. And in fact, we do get boats in 1926. So this mission will only have 4 years left on it by then, but we will at least be able to do it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait for boats to do this mail mission. Because I really don't fancy either building in a humongous bridge across here, if it'll even let me build one that big, or building a road all the way around. Both of those seem awful to me. So, but just for grins, let's get an idea of just how bad a bridge that long would be if it will even let me do it. Oops. Well, it's actually not that bad, although it's just a pretty crappy bridge, but anyway. But no, I'd really rather not even do that. I'd really much prefer to just build a boat station dock there, and just use boats to transport stuff back and forth. I think that will be much more sane. So that's what we're going to do. And in the meantime, we'll continue just watching our other vehicles flow along here, while we wait to either complete a mission or for something else to fall off the map so we can get something new, or for me to see something on the map that just screams that it needs attention. I see the computer is still doing something in the background. Well, let's see what this one is doing. Well, it certainly is doing something. It built a something. Probably a station if I had to guess. And then promptly destroyed it, apparently. Interesting. Doesn't have a headquarters, so I can't just jump straight to them. Weird. Okay, well, I guess we won't look at what they're doing. Guess I can look back through the message history and see if I can find that last message, because I'm curious what they're doing. Of course, there's so many things going on, I'm not sure I'm going to see. Yeah, I don't even see it. Okay, never mind. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. I was just looking to see what they were actually building, but apparently they're whatever it is they built, they just immediately deconstructed it because they're showing zero infrastructure. If you have a construction cost yet no actual infrastructure, then either you built something and then demolished it, or you just did some landscaping. Those are the only two ways you can get a construction cost without also gaining infrastructure. Like obviously when we look at mine, I haven't built anything lately, but when I have construction cost, obviously I also have a great deal of infrastructure, right? So that makes sense. But anyway. And apparently, since I started in 1800, even if I started this company the day I was born, I would still be over 111 years old. That's a little crazy. It's looking pretty good for a guy that's probably about 140, 150. It's either that or my sons have been looking exactly like me or something. Same name, same appearance. Maybe we're vampires. I have no idea. Just silliness. Anyway. Let's just take a cruise around the map. I'm leaving this up here so people who like watching the vehicles have something to watch while I'm just buzzing around looking for something to jump out at me as requiring attention. There's another computer message at some point. I'm not seeing anything screamingly. Wow, that city's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, well, even this one's doing pretty well too. Considering I only have the one station servicing it, and only for valuables, that's growing pretty well. Apparently the valuables are really, really important to those people. Maybe they're giving them away for free. I don't know. To all citizens, that would do it. Well, even these ones are doing pretty well. At least these two. These ones aren't so much. But this one here was really the kind of the focus city. I then added a route here and then a separate route here. So really these two should have been the biggest one. But this one's growing pretty well already. That's interesting. There's a good spot for another little boat ferry. I could even do a little road one at that point. It'd be pretty samey at that point. But that's alright. Another autosave. So I'll stop moving the map for a minute, let it catch up. So it doesn't grind my CPU down to nothing again. Which seems to happen a fair bit more often than I'd like to admit, but anyway. This is our little farm route with almost no livestock production at all. Yet the grain is still doing really well, so I'm not sure what the farmers here are actually doing. Oh, there it goes. But apparently they're not managing their animals very well. But anyway. That's a pretty big city that's got nothing even attached to it. Interesting. Huh. Apparently, at some point, I had vehicles here. And whatever it was is now gone. In fact, it's gone on both sides. So it probably was either a coal or an iron mine to either a power plant or a factory or something. But there's no point in me paying for these. Let us get rid of all of that. There's no point, because not right now, if I look. In fact, that might be something even easier to see. Right, if I leave this up here, we can see our property maintenance, because I shut inflation off, has been pretty static year over year. So, but if I get rid of all this, we're going to see the property maintenance. It won't be easy to tell maybe for this year, because the year's almost over, but certainly for next year, we're going to see it drop. There's no point in me paying for all this road and the stations and depot for nothing. There we go. So now we'll see. And like I say, it may not be so easy to tell for this year because we've only got one more month to go, but it will drop a little bit. But next year it'll drop a bit more. So, because I'd gone around the map and I'd taken a look specifically for stuff like that, and I must have missed that one. Because clearly I'd already sold the vehicles off, so it happened a long time ago. Because I haven't sold off all vehicles in a route in many, many years. I may trim one or two off a route that's got too many vehicles, but I've not actually deleted entire racks of routes in quite some time. But anyway, in the meantime, let's continue hunting for interesting things like that. Well, yeah, you can see. I mean, it certainly wasn't by much because that was only 1 month's worth. But you can see I'm now saving a little bit on property maintenance. I think I may have just found another one. There's no sign of a mine here. And there's a depot for it. And no sign of what I'm assuming was a forest. Forest or a mine. I'm not even sure what it was, but there's nothing there on either end. So whatever it is has been gone for a very long time. So again, I don't want to pay for it. So I'm not going to. Get rid of all that. And all that. And all that. It's a very long route too, whatever it was. There we go. Gone. Done. Excellent. So again, we're going to see the property maintenance amount drop a little bit. It won't be a huge amount, but it will drop anyway. Nice little city, tiny city on that little island. Nice for them. Anyway, continue to buzz around the map looking for things that need attention. That one's clearly fine because it's clearly a passenger or mail route or something. Another little city on an island. Apparently that's fairly common around this area. Make a fantastic little circle of passengers or mail or something there if I needed to make some more money, but I think we're okay there now. I'm not seeing anything jumping out at me. I think I may now have finally got all of my routes that are no longer active to be removed. So I think we should be okay now. I mean, like I say, the map is so huge, it's certainly possible that I have missed another one because I'm just kind of buzzing around semi-randomly here. And I'm probably getting the same places again and again. To 99. What are you down to? Also to 99. Okay, so they're holding out even. And they are, well, we're getting there. It's at 40%. Okay, so far so good. We'll keep looking. Yeah, I'm probably crossing over the same areas a lot because I'm basically just tapping the arrow keys while I zoom around and zoom around. I can't scroll, like I can't zoom out any further, so I have no good way of really seeing routes that aren't doing anything anymore. No, that's that livestock one, so it's okay for now. It's very low production, but it is running, so we'll leave it. Okay. All right. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with the state of the map at this point. Let's go find something that we can watch for a little while. Let's say Putwell. Actually, we'll take Great Attenborough. That's kind of like a hub city. And I'll put this back over here so people who are interested in what I was talking about with the property maintenance can see it. It'll be easiest to see once we cross into 1913 because then this year will be complete. And I think it's going to go to around 168 to 170 range is my guess, but we'll wait and see. I have been wrong before. That is for sure. But, yeah, we're doing well. We have enough vehicles now that we're actually, just in terms of gross revenue, not profit, but gross revenue, has cracked $1 million, which is fantastic. Obviously, we still have like running expenses and property expense, so we're not actually making $1 million a year, but gross revenue of $1 million a year is fantastic, which means our actual profit per year is over $500,000, and that's also fantastic. I don't think there's a shareholder on the planet that could be upset with that. Unless, of course, they have to swim to my headquarter island for the board meetings, but that's separate. I really don't know why that amuses me so well, but I guess just the thought of, all those executive type people in their fancy suits and ties coming up out of the lake, soaking wet because they had to swim there. I don't know, for some reason that just amuses me. So, maybe I'm weird. Well, probably. In fact, I'd say almost certainly. But that's okay. If I rearrange these windows a bit, if maybe everybody can see a little bit better. I know there's probably some people that want to be watching the goals too. If I just move over a bit and move this down a little bit, yeah, I think that'll work. So for the people watching the maintenance, it's this line here. I'm going to move the window over a bit so you won't be able to see the title, but it's this line here that you're interested in. That way people can see a little bit more of the traffic. We've got some vehicles directly we can watch, and we can still see our goals. So I think this will be a pretty good window setup for a little while. And that will be good. I think I mentioned it in an earlier episode, 1 or 2 episodes ago, but at this point I'm leaving it on high speed at basically all times to buzz through the years. I am really waiting on the new vehicles in 1926. So with these 20 or so minute episodes, we tend to get about 4 years done per episode. It's playing on high speed the whole time, so that should be pretty good. Which basically means approximately 3 or 4 more episodes and we'll be starting to get into the new vehicles. At that point, I may not play it on high speed quite as much. Probably still once in a while, though. But for now, I'm going to leave it on high speed as long as my CPU keeps up with it, just to try and get closer and closer to that time. So, just in case anyone wasn't sure why I'm leaving it on full speed all the time, that would be why. Alright, so we're into December. So those of you who are interested in how the property maintenance worked are about to be able to tell for sure how much this has dropped. In fact, I think it'll have dropped even more than the 168 I was predicting. But anyway, in a moment we will know for sure because we're going to reach 1913. There we go. Oh wow, I actually went to 157. So you can see the property maintenance between the depot, the station on each end, and probably even a little bit for every single individual tile of road. You pay for all of them, and you pay it year over year over year. Well back in episodes 10, 20 in that area. I was originally leaving. Anytime a route went defunct, I just left it there. I would delete all the vehicles, but I just left it there. And we were just in piles and piles and piles of debt. What I ended up doing, because once I realized that I was still paying for all those, both because I thought originally I was only paying for vehicles. I didn't realize we also paid property maintenance. Once I kind of clued in that property maintenance means property maintenance, go figure, I actually extended the loan a little bit so I would have enough money to bulldoze out, like demolish all those extra routes. I clearly missed a couple, but I got most of them. And the property maintenance value just plummeted. And at that point, between that and building a few more routes and a few more vehicles, we started to make profit year over year again, and after just a few years, managed to clear out all the debt. That was, I think, episode 30 or 31. I think it was 31, where we finally conquered the debt completely. It was amazing. You're losing me a lot of money, and you're only carrying singles. That tells me I have too many vehicles on this route. I know it's a very, very long route, but if you're not doing that well, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Okay, I can get at you from either depot. Okay, so the male ones I think are fine. It's really just I don't even have 2 of them, and neither of them are doing well. Yuck. Okay, well, so be it. I think what that means is it's time to start doing full loads for these. Even though that means they may stick in the stations a little bit longer, they'll no longer do these really quick runs where they only take 1 or 2 bags of valuables, which are not worth enough to make profit year over year. Even with these banks being very low capacity, I'll just buzz down and check Pudwell here as an example. Well, that's actually not that bad. So there's really no reason it should ever be so hard done by to get valuables through. And clearly, this one's taking a while, which is slowing everybody else down. But I think, long term, that's going to be useful. I think. I hope. But anyway. This is the other one here. Yeah. Also, part of the problem is they're so close together. So whenever they get to them, there's nothing left for the next one. But now, because this one's waiting, that gives the other one time to get further ahead, so it can visit the other city well enough in advance that it has time before this one gets there to actually have valuables available. So I think that's going to help. And we're running a little over on time, but I do want to get to 1914, so I'm going to let this episode run just a little bit long so we can get to 1914, because that makes a good stopping point. I hope nobody's upset at an extra minute or two of free video, but that's what we're going to do. So. Well, I hope everyone's enjoying the series so far. I'm certainly enjoying making it, so we're having fun. It's all is well. So, good times. Just a few more weeks to buzz through. And clearly in the next episode we're going to have a couple more missions fall off. So hopefully the replacements are something we are going to actually work on. And not just more, wood or livestock or what have you, ones I'm not doing right now. So hopefully anyway. Well, while that's taking the last few days, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for being with me today. So until next time, stay calm, and I hope you'll come and chill with me again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.